Hi, everybody. It's Alan here, and Sarah wanted to be here, but I'm standing in for her. She wasn't able to be here today, but I have the privilege of being here in the studio of Jayde Archbold, whose artwork is going to be on display at Lighthouse Books during the art walk. Hi, Jayde.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you for spending this time with us and inviting us to your studio. We're so excited to be here, and we're looking forward to seeing your artwork at the art walk, which starts on the 17th. But in the meantime, show us a little bit about how you work and what you've been working on. And I guess you can't really show us your work that is going to be on display, but tell us all about it.
Sure. So the piece was inspired by, as we talked about a little bit in the last video, it was inspired by the books at Lighthouse Books. So I kind of got some inspiration from those book covers. I don't want to show it just yet. It's going to be on display at the Art Walk September 17th through the 24th at Lighthouse Books.
So that's all during the week of the 17th. That is a Saturday, right? Mm-hmm. And then it runs on to the following Saturday. So anytime during business hours, you can go to see not only your work, of course, but work
There's
of
22 artists.
22 artists all around town. And so you get to get a sampling of the work that they do, the work that you do. And so tell us a little bit. We're here in your studio.
Yes.
And this is very special that for you to give us the opportunity to be here. So tell us a little bit about what you're working on.
Sure. So I kind of started this one over here. I'm kind of working on working with repurposed materials. So this was a cabinet door. I think it's really cool that it kind of already comes with the designs, like the beveled edges here. So I'm kind of working with that and working that into the design of the painting. So I haven't decided what entirely is going in the middle yet, but that is what I have so far. And then the sparkly parts are just little bits of washi tape.
Ooh, cool.
To add something interesting there. So it could change. I might paint over it. I don't know. This one is a work in progress. And then I don't have too much going on right now. I've been kind of busy with some other stuff, but I'm trying to work on some smaller pieces. Maybe I can make a few new things for the art walk, in addition to some of the pieces you guys saw in the last video. I'm going to try out maybe painting these little bookmarks. And
fun. Perfect for
a bookstore.
Perfect for a bookstore, for sure.
So I have those little bookmarks there.
So talk a little bit about how you work. It seems like a fascinating process that you're finding objects, mm-hmm. and then you're working with those found objects, and working with in some cases, letting the design, the look of the object, dictate where you go with it, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. You put it into great words. So yeah, when I pick out something. I kind of look at the shape of it and kind of figure out what can I do with this and kind of just let it guide me. I use books for a lot of ideas. I work at a library, so I'm surrounded by books every day. So that is definitely a plus. I'm constantly looking at different artists. I follow a lot of different artists on social media, so that kind of just helps keeps the juice flowing. And I love looking at textiles. I love looking at fashion, different designers. I love looking at indigenous cultures and how they create textiles and how they adorn themselves and dress themselves. So all of those things are kind of inspiration, but I normally get it from books. Occasionally I'll get it from documentaries or movies that I watch. But yeah, it's all just like a mishmash of different cultures and different sources from different things that I find.
And you just absorb these things and then turn them into art.
Yes, exactly. I'm always surrounded by things. Even when I like to go to the thrift store a lot. And even when I go there, or when I go anywhere, like to the flea market, I go there quite often. I'm always looking for like weird, like unique things, whether it's to use in my art or just as an idea for something in my art. I always am on the lookout for different things to keep me inspired.
So I noticed that there are some things that are on display here in your studio.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about some of these.
So some of these we did see last time. I think most of these actually were, we did see in the last video. These are over here for a reason. Because that's where I work, so I don't want to flick paint all over them when I'm painting. So that's why this side is completely blank, and this side has all the art on it. I do also have some art by some of my friends and other artists that I know. So those are these pieces over here.
So are they, do they inspire you?
Always.
And then also, that looks like a light switch cover, right?
Oh, wow, it's just
wonderful.
I bought it at an art auction. So
wonderful.
That.
And then how are your artist friends, are they going to be part of this art walk? Or?
They are not.
They're not. Okay.
They are, right. It's not any artists that are in the art walk. They are elsewhere. Okay.
So you showed us some of the things that you had here. Can you go into more detail? I see some fascinating looking things up there in the corner.
So I think some of these are not mine. I think I showed you guys the stacks last time, but here are the stacks. I do like to work with a lot of mixed media, so I incorporated some little buttons there. So it does kind of take on like an ornamental effect, like it could be real beads draped over it, but it kind of just has that effect, but just with paint, which is what I like to do. And then this one, I think this one was actually the first one that I made. There's that one. I added the buttons on later, and then I saw that, and I was like, ooh, that's good. So that was not part of the original plan, but there we go. And then these snails are not done by me. Those are from one of my friends from school. This one is just a little colored pencil drawing on wood. So, made that in 2020. So yeah, that's a little thing. That one is also not mine. I purchased that from another artist.
So, Jade, how long have you been working in art?
That is a great question. That is a good question. I would say probably since high school is when I got serious about it. So that was 2009. So
was that when you realized you were an artist?
I think I realized I was an artist when I was like 6. Yeah, when that was the only thing that I wanted to do. The only elective I really liked was art.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the other ones were okay, but
didn't quite live up to doing art.
Really. So, yes, definitely. I knew from a young age that this was something that I was interested in. And I feel like that's where a lot of people, I don't know, I think that's where a lot of people forget. And they also kind of sell themselves short because when they get older, they're like, well, I can only draw a stick person. And everyone tells me that. And they're like, oh my God, you're so good. And I was like, it's just shapes and colors, which that does take some time to develop an eye for those kinds of things. But you have to stick with it. You can't try it one time and then say, I'm no good at this.
And are stick figures wrong?
No. I actually went through a period of drawing little stick figures. In middle school, I drew these little stick figure comics. I didn't make that like my permanent art choice, but I did draw stick people. Why not? Because it was funny.
Well, I know of some published uh, cartoons
Mhm.
that are exactly that. They're stick
Yeah,
figures. You
yeah.
know of some of those too.
When you look in the newspaper, you look in different magazines, comics, there's all kinds of art out there. Stick people is art. It
So
can
what?
be art.
So define art.
Ooh,
Sorry.
that's tough. Oh, jeez. I would say art is something that someone creates from their own mind.
That's good. That's
I
good.
think that's all I have.
And it's, but that crystallizes what it is. It's whatever you're working with is coming from your mind
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
from your soul.
I can't box it in any more than that because there's so many different types of art. I can't say it's a thing. I can't say it's like art's 2D, 3D, has color, no color. It could be video, it could be photography, sculpture. It could be all kinds of things. So it's a thing that comes from your mind.
And it also could be a combination of all those things too.
It could. Yeah, it could. I think it's, at least when I think about it in terms of when I make stuff, it is you have an idea and something in you is telling you that this needs to be seen in real life. So I think that is what art is, having a vision or having an idea and then bringing that vision or idea to life. So it doesn't just live inside your head. Now it lives in the world for everyone else to see.
Excellent. So I know you said that you work at a library right here in Dade City, right?
Not this one.
No,
I
not
work
this one?
At a different library.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But you, so you've drawn the books.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, then you were somehow drawn to Lighthouse Books as the place for your art to be displayed.
Yes.
And and then you visited.
Mm-hmm.
How did that process go? You visited the store, and then what happened? So
the first time I visited, I was happy that something so cool could come to Dade City. We're a small town. Sometimes we don't have a lot of things like that. So I was really excited to see that. I love old things. I love digging through old things, and I love books. As you can see, I have a lot of books on the bookshelf. That's where I get most of my ideas from, especially the older books. They're so cool and so interesting and so unique. So that's a lot of what I saw there was things that I don't normally see every day. When you work at a library, you're seeing bestsellers, new books. You're seeing things that are circulating constantly. People are reading them, but like they're not that interesting artistically, you know?
Sure.
So, like, I'm sorry, James Patterson, your covers are boring. I'm sure he won't watch this video. His covers are, what can I don't read them. So maybe I have no place to talk about how good the books are, but I am a person that judges a book by its cover. Literal books, not in the metaphorical sense. Literal books. And the cover looks boring. So I think I'll pass. And that's what brought me to Lighthouse Books. All the covers look good. All of them. And like you guys have books that are out of print or they're no longer being published or reproduced. So it's in the title of you guys' store is rare books. So I'm really drawn to things that are unique, that are one of a kind, or things that are kind of hard to find. And I pulled all the best and all the most interesting things that I found there to create the piece for the art walk.
And one of the things that we should mention is that the art on the books, on covers, you were inspired a lot with the covers of the books. The style of art that was inspirational to you is not a style that is practiced today
No,
for the most
it's
part.
not. It's not. And I know, I'm not sure exactly. I'm not very knowledgeable about the process of book cover art. I know the only thing I could compare it to is probably printmaking, which even still today is not a widely practiced or even widely known art practice. People think printmaking, they don't really understand what that means, which is fine. It's not as talked about. When you think about printmaking, think about Andy Warhol. The Campbell soup cans, that's printmaking. Marilyn Monroe, that was printmaking. T-shirts, printmaking. Screen printing is a form of printmaking. So I think that's where I kind of make the connection. I'm not entirely sure what the process is like, but it's a very rare art form for sure if anyone is still practicing it today.
So, what advice, and this is an opportunity for shameless plug, but it's also an opportunity for your fellow artists. What advice would you give to someone who is coming to the art walk, and is going to tour the various businesses where the art is on display?
I would say
come see your work first.
No, not exactly. I would say keep an open mind. I think a lot of people kind of have like a little bubble they like to stay in when it comes to art. Like, this is the art I like. This is all I like. Keep an open mind and get to know the artists. Talk to the artists about why they make what they make, how they made what they make, and I think that's how you can make sense of what people are making. If for some reason you don't understand it or you think you don't like it, talk to the artist and ask them about their piece. Ask them why they make it. Why did they choose those colors? How did they create this piece? What mediums did they use? So I think that's one of the most important things is talk to the artists, get to know them and get to know their work.
So the event starts on Saturday the 17th and runs through Saturday the 24th. And tell us more about that and how people can see the works, and how do they get to see the artists?
Yeah. So each artist will be at the merchant that they were matched with. So I will be at Lighthouse Books. There's 22 other artists that will be stationed at different merchants around downtown. I'm sure that the Dade City Center for the Arts will also provide a map directory so you can visit each artist through the art walk. We'll start out at the Armory at 5 p.m. and that's when the opening ceremony starts, and then the art walk event will go until 8 p.m. So you can stop at each art walk stop and get to know each artist, look at some of their work. They definitely will be selling stuff, so check that out. Bring your money. They would love to sell some stuff, and always good to support local artists. I want to thank you for coming to my studio, aka the second bedroom of my apartment. This was very fun, and I'm really excited to see everybody at the art walk on Saturday the 17th. I'll be at Lighthouse Books again, and be sure to stop by and check out all of the other amazing artists. It's going to be a very fun night and great for the first art walk in downtown Dade City. I'm very excited to see you all. Bye.